Planning for your home reno and wanting to look for an ID but not sure where to begin? Home Trust can help you with that. On the main page, simply click on Get Recommendations and complete a few simple questions. Firstly, select a theme you are going for and some of the key design features you are interested to include in your new home. Next, submit details like the floor area and your budget. Finally, complete your contact information. Home Trust will matchmake you with 3 to 5 shortlisted IDs based on your preferences and requirements. It's that simple. Visit hometrust.sg now. So, the team from Ridgestone can manage to squeeze in epoxy grouting for our master and common room flooring just before moving day. Thankfully, as it will be challenging to do so after moving in, with our bed delivered and with boxes everywhere.
A number of you DM'd us on IG to ask about the difference between marble gum and epoxy grout. Simply put, marble gum grinds and blends tiles together to give one big seamless look.
So you can't feel the grout lines anymore.
Whereas epoxy grout replaces the traditional cement grout with fancier colours and added durability properties.
You can still feel and see the grout lines, which may be more flamboyant as a feature or discreet if you pick matching colours.
Another common question asked was on compatibility with different tiles. For epoxy grout, all tiles also can. For marble gum, slightly more complicated. Remember, marble gum grinds away a thin layer of the tiles to blend them together. Thus, this works for full body or half body homogeneous tiles with at least 3 mm of surface design. Marble gum will not work for glazed porcelain tiles with the printed design as it will be grinded away.
For those who are new to our channel, we explained in our hacking episode our logic behind using our master room as the walk-in wardrobe and the common room as our sleeping room.
We also designed our aircon trunking to run under the beam connecting both rooms, which is eventually boxed up nicely inside this archway. Don't forget to watch our previous episodes to find out more.
One new super important tip regarding plastering and painting works. Make sure you QC or get your ID's support to do so before painting, or else there will be back and forth spending months. This archway of ours was badly plastered. Most painters won't really care, they are likely to just paint over the surface and move on. In fact, the regular painter even told us that he is not good at plastering and asked us to ask our ID to get someone else to help.
With some feedback, our ID and his painting vendor managed to send out a more experienced painter for final touch-ups at the end of reno, and we're glad that after 5 painting sessions, our archway is finally done. Really kudos to this gentleman. Speaking of painting, you might have caught a glimpse of this in our painting episode. Instead of spending money on a wallpaper or feature wall, we got our ID and painter to do a very simple design behind our bed headboard using paint.
The painter struggled with getting the lines right, so we actually spent some time to straighten things out by personally hand drawing it. I think it turned out quite alright.
Self-sourcing a ghost sliding door system really took us a long time. Seems like there's only one vendor in the whole of Singapore who carries this system, and this one vendor only got one installer. This
system comes without any opiang tracks whatsoever. Our ID wanted to do the old-fashioned sliding door. You know, the one with the metal tracks on the wall and the floor? So glad we did some research to avert that. But of course, this ghost door costs about a grand more than the opiang one.
With the sliding door behind the archway, this creates a nice illusion when viewed from the walk-in wardrobe side. For those who are thinking to get costly curved doors and whatnot, save the money and see if you can achieve the same effect from a normal rectangle door on one side.
With Miso and Nori often running around the house, the glass door is quite the hazard. Not just Miso, even for us. Jestec came down to help install the 3M safety film for our glass door and shower screens. Jestec is the authorized distributor and applicator for 3M films. With an in-house installation team, you can be rest assured about their professional service and quality standards.
We recommend installing safety films on your glass to prevent glass shards from flying out over and injuring someone in an event of spontaneous breakage. Your glass can shatter without warning due to an impurity called nickel sulfate that only affects tempered glass, making it unsafe. I actually have a friend who was bathing his child and the entire shower screen shattered on his back. He was hospitalized, but thankfully the child was alright. That was the moment that we told ourselves we needed safety films in our house. We are impressed by how fast and fast-free the process was. After the safety films are up, we really feel much safer and have a better peace of mind when the doggos are home alone.
For those who are interested, do reach out to Jestec for a non-obligatory site measurement and consultation.
It was not easy to find smart curtain and blinds compatible with our Samsung SmartThings home, and we finally found our best solution in Duya. Our curtain fabric, tracks and motors are all supplied by MGL Curtains, a one-stop shop.
There are literally thousands of fabric choices available for you to choose until you key siao. We got introduced to MGL Curtains by Somfy, but it was too costly for us, and a similar alternative was Duya. We highly recommend MGL Curtains. Look for May and tell her the Swaku said hi.
We bought Bond Home, which is a hub that makes dumb remotes smart. Highly recommend this. Simply pair your remotes to Bond and you can control your curtains on the app. But that's not the point. Bond is compatible with Samsung SmartThings, which is key to our smart home. Once Bond is onboarded SmartThings, we can automate our curtains and blinds with other devices in our house. For example, we set the curtains to open every weekday at 7:30 AM to wake us up and switch on our water heater at the same time. We'll share more about our smart home in a future episode.
Of course, the usuals have to work. Curtains can be controlled by the remote, by voice control on Google Home.
Open bedroom curtains.
Alright, opening the curtains.
And also with a simple tap.
We also highly recommend a storage bed because our home's already very small, so it's helpful to cover as much ground as possible when it comes to storage. Storage beds are also good because there are no gaps underneath it, so no pet fur or hair or dust will accumulate below the bed.
Our home is missing our side tables because we are still on the lookout. Feel free to leave your suggestions for us. We have deliberately left this wall empty for projector. We are actually waiting for the Samsung Freestyle 2022 to be on sale when the 2023 version is out.